Okay, that's great.
No, it's quiz also, but quiz have the limit as Sunday 11:55. When you read your subject, then you can attend your quiz. And the true reply of the alley is learning agreement. With two replies. It could be completed 11:55. So whatever you see in a learning agreement, the other student, you must be replied there.
Come on in, sit down, sit down. Come on in.
What's up?
Have an ice cream.
I told it.
So we could have a few. You want the ice cream?
No, I told
Sure.
it.
All right, you're welcome.
It's very interesting. Nice one. I don't have any choice for it. So,
All right, let's get things started today. Okay, how's everybody doing tonight? Good. All right, so hopefully in the right class. How's everybody doing on Zoom? Anybody can hear me on Zoom?
Yes, we can. Hi, Professor.
How you doing? Okay, so hopefully in the right class, ORG6011, Organizational Development and Change. Okay, so make sure that's the first thing. Secondly, welcome. All right, my name is Dr. Patrick Hayes. All right, I'll be instructor for this course. Okay, so again, welcome. All right, some new faces. I haven't seen anybody here before at all. Okay, and then Zoom. DK, no, I don't know who's Marish. I don't know who Zoom is. Zoom. Okay, you look so mad to be here. You look someplace else, doing something else altogether. Wait a minute, you can't even see my face. Let me see my. There you go. Can you see my face? No, maybe not. Yeah, there you go. All right. Don't mind me if I have my back turned to you. I don't have a recording machine in here, so I have to use my laptop, but I tend to move around. So just listen, and you know, you have to look at my ugly face, okay? So just listen. Okay, so all right. First things first. Anybody got any questions about anything? Questions about anything? Come on in. What's that? Yes, you can eat it. Yes, please eat it. There's ice cream. It's gonna melt. Okay, I'd rather eat it and enjoy it than melt and then be in the package and you gotta take it back home and refreeze it. And, we don't want that. Okay, and enjoy it now. Okay. Now, of course. Any other questions? No. Okay. All right. So, I don't know anybody here. So what I like to do first is get a little intro. Okay, just give me your name, where you're from, what's your degree you're pursuing, you know, concentration specific, if you have one, and what you plan on doing with your degree, if you know already. If you don't know, it's okay. Anything else you want to tell me that's relevant, all right? You guys all, I'm sure, come with a lot of experience, different hobbies, different walks of life. So it's interesting for me to know, you know, what you bring to the table. So I know how to, you know, kind of talk to you because it's a dialogue here, right? Anything you're learning here, you can learn in the book. We're here to have conversations. We're here to talk, not to just listen to me. Come on in. Not just listen to me, yap, yap, yap. I don't like the yap, yap, yap. All right. So I like to have discussions. We see what's going on and we have a dialogue and we actually learn something. Okay. So I guess I'll start with the class first and then I'll come to Zoom. All right. I don't know what is that noise. Huh. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Hey, my name is Adeyinka Shubanda.
Say it again.
Adeyinka Shubanda.
How you spell that? How you spell
That's
that?
Adeyinka.
Okay.
That's a Nigerian name.
Okay.
I'm from Nigeria, and I studied back home. I did my bachelor's in accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I worked in the HR department for like 10 years before moving to the States.
Okay.
So now I decided to go into IT and
Okay.
MBA. Yeah.
Good. Okay. That's all right. All right. What you gonna do with that? You gonna
Then
stay
this one,
here or you gonna go back to
I'm
Nigeria?
staying here for a while.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I've been here for 5 years.
Okay.
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years. All right. San Diego the whole time?
That's San Diego, yeah. Riverside and San Diego.
Okay.
I'm Naresh. I'm completed my graduation in 2007.
Wait. Narish like this?
Yeah,
Okay, so there's two Narish.
I only that.
Is that you?
This thing, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you trying to trick me, huh?
Yeah.
I see how it's going down already, huh? Trying to trick me. Okay, Narish, all right. You make sure you get your attendance credit, huh?
Two times.
Two times, yeah, 2 times. It's okay. I like that.
From my commerce graduation in 2007 and started my career in IT firm as a financial analyst.
Okay.
And, in different roles, I worked for the IT firm.
Okay.
At last, I moved to the MBA. I
Mhm.
planned to be moved to the management role.
Okay.
That's why I chose the MBA and
Mhm.
business administration management.
Okay.
After completion of management study and plan to be established in an organized IT consulting company in the home country.
Okay. So you're gonna go back?
Mostly I think.
Look. Okay. Oh, you don't like it here?
Mostly, I mean, I cannot say here.
Okay.
Maybe I can be here.
You can't be here, but you don't know. You like, yo, I'm gonna go home.
100% can be here.
Okay. You 100% you can't be here. Okay, I get it. Okay. All right, no problem. I appreciate it.
Yes, Dave.
Good day, Bob. Had you in my class
Yeah,
before?
before.
Yes, I'm about to say.
Sorry.
Yes, that's right.
I have a philosophy in accounting. I
Mhm.
worked as an accountant for almost 4 years.
Okay.
Now doing my MBA.
Okay. What you gonna do with it after? Still trying to figure it out? Okay. All right. Okay.
Sir, my name is Jagraj Singh and I'm from India.
Say your name again?
Jagraj,
Spell that for me.
Jagraj,
Okay.
Jagraj Singh.
Don't, hey, just forgive me because I'm not gonna remember all the names. Okay, it's gonna take me a little bit to remember all the names. I can't remember my name sometimes. So
So I completed my graduation in bachelor's. So
Okay.
in 2021,
okay.
after that I was working in an international company in
Mhm.
India.
Okay.
So now I'm just pursuing my MBA to get a good higher jobs,
Mhm.
which I will found after my completion of
Okay.
this.
Here or back in India?
Probably there.
Here? Okay. Okay. So I got a question. The turban, the head wrap.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing it and nobody else wears it?
Because of my religion.
Okay, so it's religious
Yeah,
based. Okay.
I'm from Sikh religion.
Okay, you're a Sikh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure. I grew up in New York, so I know a lot of Sikh
Okay.
Indians. So
That's purely Brahmin. Yeah, purely Brahmin. No, after having this probably you did not have any knowledge.
So it depends.
Because the trend of the
Okay.
you will not
Some
have.
people are following so much in a pure way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
So they don't cut their beard or hair.
Yeah. In the Noida, it has to be work. That's what.
Okay.
This is Ahmed Anaya from Jordan.
all right, you know you already had to say that again. That's why you said it so fast. You like say it again?
Ahmed Anaya.
Okay, so I'm gonna Ahmed or Ahmed?
Well, Ahmed may be easier.
No, I want to get it right.
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ahmed
All right.
Anaya.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm from Jordan as
Mhm.
well. I already studied my civil engineering
Mhm.
and my bachelor in that.
Okay.
But after that, I didn't work in the civil itself.
Mhm.
I worked as a manager in one of the companies, the technology companies, and that's why I'm pursuing my MBA right now
as a master degree in order to like have more opportunities. I'll have like more spaces to select like between the companies.
Right.
My career started as a manager.
Okay.
I already have my civil engineering. It might be like more flexible for me
Yeah.
to choose my job.
I got you. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. You gonna stay here or go back to Jordan?
Well, depends. Sometimes maybe in the Gulf countries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's not a bad place. I've been there before. It's nice.
Yeah.
What's that?
The weather.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
weather stuff. Yeah, I mean, what is the weather, you know?
By 3 years, that's why.
Yeah. No, yeah, I've been to Dubai twice. I've been to Jordan. I spent a couple months there in Jordan and Dubai, and it's hot.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's hot, but you get used to it, you know, eventually. So, okay.
My name is Nayan Putin. I study in
Back up. What is it?
Nayan, Nayan.
Okay, 9. Okay. Okay.
I studied in bachelor in electrical and electronics engineering
Okay.
in India.
Mm-hmm.
Then I worked as inspecting engineer in math consultancy.
Okay.
And after 5 years, work as the project manager in Tascom,
Mm-hmm.
who's working as the SIDC of water supply and drainage project.
Okay.
So that skills like management, I done my job as 6 to 7 years, and then I come to here to get the more skill and
Yeah.
like to manage.
Right, man. Supervisory and management position. I get it.
So
Okay.
I get the more knowledge about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My stream, business administration.
Okay. Good to go. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's go to Zoom. We already know Narisha's here already. We're not gonna ask him to talk. Kate, tell us about yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Kate. I'm an entrepreneur from Nigeria. I'm here doing my MBA in healthcare management, and I hope to learn more about the elderly care facilities here in the US and hopefully implement it back home in Nigeria.
Okay, all right, good to go. All right. There must be a big health industry in Nigeria because a lot of my Nigerian students are nurses or in the healthcare system.
Right.
Okay. All right. Who is Zoom? Zoom, you're up. Who is the Zoom? No? I don't know who. I know that's Chinese. All right, well, Zoom, if I don't know who you are, I can't help you. All right, we'll figure it out because it's just some go Zoom. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance to read the bio, my syllabus, my name is Dr. Patrick Hayes. I'm originally from New York, Caribbean by background. My parents are Haitian. So I have Haitian, Jamaican, some Trinidadian in my background. Let's see. I was in the military for about 20 some odd years, retired, and then I worked for Toyota and Care Fusion and Wells Fargo and some other stuff, mostly doing data analytics and stuff like that. Really logistics, supply management, stuff like that too. Let me see. Master's in business, master's in HR, master's in AI, and I have a PhD in organizational leadership. All right. And some other certificates on cloud computing and other nonsense. Okay. Let's see. I travel a lot for fun, not for work. And not married, no kids, just kind of on my own. Okay. In my life. Okay. So that's it about me. Okay. All right. So one thing I like to do before we start class, if I get into certain things, all right, whoever can guess my age, except for you, because I think you remember.
Waiting this question.
Yeah.
I was waiting this question.
Me too.
Whoever can guess my age, yeah, it's I don't know. I'll give him a couple points on something.
35.
35 what? No, my age? Oh, I thought you said 35 points. I was like, that's a little too much. 35, what's next? 38,
For the career,
32.
I
Do you remember?
40.
Yeah.
40, you don't say anything. 40, Kate.
38.
Well, you're not looking old, but
Hey, you got 5 seconds to do the math there. Figure it out. You better take a shot.
As we calculated to 4 plus 3, 2 plus 3.
Right.
Right? So 7 that?
So what do you think?
Or so Ian,
40?
31 to 35.
31 to 35.
40, 42.
40, 42. Okay, nobody can make me close.
Oh no.
So far, I'll be 51 this year.
Oh yeah.
Couple of months, yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I'll be 51 this year.
Really?
Blood of Jesus.
Oh.
That's really, okay? Don't ask me what I do. I didn't do anything.
What did you do?
Okay, okay. You're the only person, the only woman in this class, so you can ask the question, okay? 'Cause
What did you do?
nothing. I don't do anything, okay? I drink a lot of water.
You
And,
said
Mind your business.
Marine Corps. My business, yes. Marine
Right.
Corps.
Retired
Mhm.
after
21 years.
Till 21 years.
Yeah.
That's why I like for the achievement.
51.
You said what, Kate?
I'm looking at that. That's what
51?
Yeah, I will
But
be.
then when you look at the face,
Yeah.
yeah, do something else.
I will be in November. I'll be 51. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, no me, nobody
You
gets.
look 38.
I appreciate it. I don't feel 38. I'll tell you that much. Okay. I don't feel 38. Just standing up here alone. I need to lean on something. Okay. But yeah, so I do that just as an icebreaker, right? And to let you guys know, like, it's learning is an ongoing process, lifelong process. All right. Yeah, I've had my PhD maybe 6, 7 years now, whatever the case may be. But I just got my master's in AI 2 years ago. All right. So always learning something new, always trying to get better. And I'm sure some of you aspire to get your doctorate at some point and learn other things, right? And so don't let age be a barrier to you, right? Don't let that be a challenge because it's not, age is just a number, right?
Maybe for you.
No, hey, you keep your mind sharp. Like Kate said, you mind your business. Okay, you don't get stressed out, and I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I'm sure that helps a little bit on either side. So it is what it is. Okay. All right. So, any other questions before we jump into the syllabus? No. Okay. So, real quick. All right. We're not gonna spend too much time on the syllabus. Hopefully, you guys had a chance to look it over. Yes. No. Maybe. Some. Right. All right. So, what I really want you to just focus on is really how the structure is going. All right. And how, let's see here, whatever it is. Okay. So every week you have two things that you have to do. All right. You have the LE, you have your quiz. All right. LE due Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. Right. This initial post. And then by Sunday, you should reply to 2 of your classmates. All right. By Sunday, you should have the quiz done, 11:59. Okay. The other thing is during weeks, let me see. This week is 5 and 6. Let me see. 5. Yeah, 5 is a case study. Where is it at here? I know I got it here somewhere. There it is. Yeah. 5 is a case study, okay? It's a group case study. All right. So I'm not going to pick your groups for you. Part of the exercise is for you to pick your own groups. All right. Collaborate with each other and figure out, okay, hey, can we work together? All right. Part of being in the workforce is collaboration, right? Once you get to the master's level, doctorate level, when you get to corporate America, right, which you've probably seen, everything's a team effort. There aren't many individual jobs out there, individual tasks, right? Everything is a collaboration with different departments or even people within your team. You're working together on a project, right? So same thing. You have to be able to come out your comfort zone, go talk to people and get along, okay? Team dynamics is a big deal for a lot of companies. And it's important because if the team dynamic isn't good, you're going to have a lot of problems getting your projects completed. All right. So it's on you to get your teammates, all right, and then do the case study. So you can do groups of 3, no more than 3, no less than 2. Okay. And do that by next week. Let me know. Send me an email, whoever the group representative is. Hey, Dr. Kays, this is my group. Okay, this is who's in the group. All right, just send that to me by next Sunday. Okay, everybody got it? Everybody good?
How do we connect those online?
The one you guys online, you probably need to send an email out to Kate, to the folks online, and reach out to them. I think there's like 3 or 4 of you online. So reach out to those folks via email. That's probably be your best bet. Oh, that's who's that? Who's no, the rest is right there.
Oh, yeah.
Jiao Peng. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I'm
Okay.
so sorry. My line is not very good.
No worries, no worries. How do you pronounce your name?
Yeah.
No.
Jia Hui, I can call me Polly. I have taken your class before.
That's what I thought. I thought you had taken my
Yeah.
class before. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, Kate, I'm looking at Kate. Kate, I'm looking for you in the classroom. Yeah, I know you're right there. I see you, Kate. I see you. Okay. You guys get together, send out an email to each other,
Okay.
and then connect the
Yes.
team that way. Okay. And then
Okay.
just send me an email by next Sunday. Let me know, hey, this is our group. Okay.
Yes.
If you have some issues connecting with the online folks, then let me know, and then I'll step in.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
No worries. Okay. So that's the case
Okay.
study. Then in week 6, you got the final paper draft. Okay. And it's just a draft, right? I just kind of see where you're at, how you're moving along on the final paper and that kind of thing, right? And then week 8 is the final paper that's due. All right, so let's talk about the final paper. The final paper is on any topic of your choice that is related to organizational development and or change management, okay? I don't care what it's about, as long as that is the premise, that is the focus, right? That is the lens that you use to look whatever company, whatever situation. If it's a case study you're doing and you're examining, an industry or a company that went through some kind of change, then that's fine, right? But it has to be involved or related to organizational development and change, okay? There's no page requirement. All right. I know what it says on the syllabus. All right. But what I need you to do is focus on the content and not the quantity. Right. I'm more worried about the quality over the quantity. All right. So don't worry about the quantity. All right. Now, that doesn't mean you turn in a 5-page paper for your final paper. That's not going to cut it. All right. If you do it right, and you follow the format of introduction, literature review, methodology, discussion, conclusion, you'll get to 10, 15 pages, okay? All right, so we'll leave it at that. The next thing is, does everybody have an APA manual? 7th edition APA manual, okay? So, this is gonna be a helpful guide for you, especially with me. I'm an APA guy, and I will take points off if you don't follow the APA guidelines. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you have to cite, okay? Citation, citation, citation. Who's is this someone's first class? Okay, all right. So when you're writing at the graduate level, it's about research, okay? But in order to do research, you have to do a lit review. You have to go back and actually look at, what people have done before, right? What experiments have been done before, what papers have been written, or what journal articles have been written before, right? And you have to give those people credit, right? It's okay if you have an idea that's similar to someone else's, but you need to paraphrase their thoughts into your own words and then cite, okay? Now, does everybody know how to cite properly as far as the format? I'm not worried about the situation, the instances. I'm worried about more the format of how to cite and that kind of thing. Is everybody familiar with how to cite? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, not really. Okay, just because I like you, I'm gonna do it over here. Okay. All right. So let's just say I say something today, right? The sky is blue, right? And then I'm gonna say, you'll say K's 2023. Okay. So whatever statement you make or whatever statement you've written, right? It's paraphrased, right? The sky is blue. Now, how did I know the sky is blue?
Concern. Kate said.
Kate said it, right?
Yeah.
But that's me, right? But let's just say I said the sky is blue. How do I know the sky is blue? Take a look. Yeah, okay. That's okay. That's observational, right? But if I'm writing, right, how do I know the sky is blue?
Then the citation has the reference, so anybody wants to check the reference, then he knows that.
Right. So where did I get the reference though from? Let's just say this is not me. Let's just say this is somebody. Oh. Let's just say when you're trying to figure out the sky is blue, right? Where would you go get that kind of information? Encyclopedia, right? Right. Same thing, right? So let's just say Isaac Newton said it, okay? All right. The point is that I didn't just make this up, nor did I think of it on my own. Okay? It's not a novel thought. Even if I said the sky is blue and it's gray, that is still something I would cite because it's not a thought that's unique to me. I didn't come up with this concept of the sky being blue. This is something that Newton said, Einstein said, Aristotle said. You see what I'm saying? So you have to give credit to those people, even if you think you came up with it, because you didn't. There's no idea, there's no concept, there's nothing out there in the world that you can possibly think of that isn't based in some rudimentary foundational thing that somebody said thousands of years ago. Okay? Just think about the iPhone. Who's created the iPhone? Who invented the iPhone? Who? It's not a trick question. No, who invented the iPhone?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, right? Steve Jobs created the iPhone, right? No, he's been passed, and yeah, it's Steve Jobs created the iPhone, right? So when you credit, or when somebody says, "Oh, Steve Jobs made the iPhone," that's great. Okay, now think about the components of the iPhone. Did Steve Jobs make that too? No. Okay. Even in building the phone, when he submits the schematics for his patent, guess what he has to do? He has to cite, right? Because there's a transistor in there. There's some kind of motherboard. There's the screen. He didn't invent glass last time I checked. The chip, plastic. He didn't do that either, right? The chip, the apps. None of that is his, right? The concept of the iPhone is his, right? But the components are not. So he has to cite. He has to give those guys credit, okay? Same thing in writing. You have to give people credit for the things that you write about, although you may have an original thought, right? The foundations of how you got there are from somebody else. And it'll always be like that, all right? Unless I don't know something, you got a time machine, and you went back in the day, way back when dinosaurs were around, and that kind of thing, okay? So unless you're like that, we all got sight, okay? So for the first week or so, I'll be easy on the citing, okay? I'm not gonna grade super hard. This includes your LEs, okay? Your initial post, when you write it, I recommend that if I don't give you material to read, and even if I do give you material to read, you should cite that also, okay? But if you're doing research and trying to answer the question, you should cite whatever research you've done, okay? I recommend you stick to journal articles, newspaper, things that are reputable, right? If you're gonna use Wikipedia, that's fine, but it can't be your primary resource, Okay, because Wikipedia is not totally reliable. You know, you can change Wikipedia, and I can say all kind of stuff. 6'5", I play in the NBA, and I make $10 million. We all know that's not true. Okay, so your resources, your references need to be reliable. Need to be journal articles or some recognized publication, Newsweek, New York Times, whatever, a book. It doesn't matter, but make sure you use something that has something to it. Okay, you can't be. My Uncle Larry said, I'm citing my Uncle Larry. Okay, it's not appropriate in this situation unless your Uncle Larry is some kind of doctor or something like that. He's an expert in the field. Okay, that's different. Okay, and you won't put Uncle Larry, of course. All right, so just keep that in mind for your LEs and when you're writing your paper. And citing is an art and science. It takes time. It takes time. It takes practice to learn when to cite, when not to cite. If it sounds like a fact or declarative, you know, when like you're stating something, like you want somebody to, hey, like I said, the sky is blue, you need to cite, right? If it's a question, yeah, opinion, of course not, right? That's your opinion. That's your own thoughts, right? And you can interject opinion, but that's for later on down the line. And to tell you the truth, at this level, nobody cares about your opinion. Okay, I'm just being honest. Nobody cares about my opinion, right? Till you publish something. Okay, and so keep that in mind when you're writing. All right. Aside from that, make sure you get your work in on time, because if you don't, and turn it in. If you don't turn your work in, I can't help you. Okay, there's nothing I can do for you. I have to have some place to start. So turn your work in. If you're having issues or something's coming up or any problems, just let me know. Hey, Dr. Cage, I'm having a rough time in life. I don't need to know specifics. Just, hey, I'm having a rough time, you know, a day, whatever, and I need a little more time to get this submitted. Okay, cool. Right? That is what's going to keep you, you know, kind of on the right track. Communication, right? And you'll learn that communication is the key to any successful relationship, right? And successful relationships are what create successful businesses, right? It's not anything else. It's who you know and the relationships you have with people that create good business. Okay? All right. If you need to use the bathroom, go. You guys are grown. All right. You need to use the phone. Get up out of here. Go use the phone. All right. Try to keep the side chatter, sidebar stuff, you know, to a minimum. If you have any thoughts, you know, feel free to interject. We're going to talk about. We may talk politics. We may talk religion. But remember, don't take anything personally. Right? This is a learning environment. And in order to learn, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. But it's okay. This is what we're here for. It's a safe space for us to talk about different things. That's why I asked you about the term. Although I already knew, but you need to create that environment to where, okay, let's talk about different things because we all come from different places, all different religions, all different backgrounds, right? Everybody here, except for me, is not a U.S. citizen per se, not born here, right? I was born here, and you know I got all my bad habits, okay, my bad American habits, right? But at the same time, you know we have a diverse class, right? Including UK. All right, everybody. Hey, yeah, I see. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry, you on my radar now. um, but you know we're here to learn and to learn from each other, right? And to make networks and make connections with each other. We're not just here to sit down and listen to me talk all day. We're here to connect with each other, help each other out. Because I don't know which one of you, all of you maybe, are going to be CEOs, CTOs, COOs, millionaires, right? And if I call you and I need a job, don't forget, okay? And I need the big office in the corner. I need Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays off, and I need $500,000. Stock options too. Okay, and a car. Okay. As long as I get all that, I'm good. I can work for you. All right. All right. So, any other questions? Anything else? No, pretty easy. Okay. And feel free to email me. Okay. Text me or call me if you really have to. Right. If you need something like right away, like Dr. K's, you know, I need to talk to you right now. Text me. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Call me, or I'll call you, or whatever the case may be. All right. Just let me know, hey, I need to talk. I got an emergency, or whatever the case may be. Okay. So aside from that, just keep me in the loop. We'll be all right. All right. Any other questions? Comments? Complaints? Anybody just want to run away? No? All right, good. All right. So I tend to only go, I teach till about 7:30, 7:35. All right. So I don't stay till 8. I can stay till 8. If you want to stay till 8, I can stay the whole time. But I find that most students are usually ready to go. So unless you want me to stay later, we can stay later, but usually.
No, do your thing.
Yeah. I figured as much. Yeah, it's a night class. A lot of people coming from work and life in general the whole day. Everybody wants to go home. And then after about an hour, I can see everybody kind of like looking around. I don't know what I'm going to eat for dinner. My back hurts. I'm ready to go play video games, stuff like that, right? I don't play video games, but I'm sure somebody here plays video games, I'm sure, okay? Whatever you do, run, go hang out with the family, go have your friends, all right? Don't forget to have a life, all right? Don't let school wrap you up. Yeah, enjoy life, right? Because that's what you're here for. You're here to learn so you can go out and make money and do the things that you're passionate about, but it's all about living your life, right? And enjoying it with the people that you love and you care about. All right. So don't forget to do that. And I'm okay too when you say, hey, Dr. Ken, I'm not coming to class. I'm hanging out with my wife or my girlfriend or my husband or something. Okay. So I understand, or boyfriend. All right. So I get it. Right. It is what it is. Okay. All right. So let's go to OD. Who knows anything about organizational development and change management? Anybody? What is OD and change management? Anybody? Give me a definition or something. In your own words, it doesn't need to be anything official, formal. Just tell me what you think.
To change something for
You change something what?
something for
Organization development to decrease the burden expenses of the organization. Now, the presently every organization is thinking not to spend every part of an expenses in the burden type of a thing, which are necessary expenses.
Okay. All
They're
right.
planning to decrease the overburden, and in the change management, whole part of the work is going to the automation now
Mm,
in the
Okay.
automation system.
okay.
That's why they are looking for the automation IT sector.
Mm,
That's why the data science is coming up
Yeah.
with the automation of work, and machine learning is coming with the automation now.
Mhm.
That's what the change management is coming up in the same part of that.
So that's really good answer, right? You had a good answer too, right? But you finish.
So change the working skill, like you give the example Domino's, right? So
Mhm.
Domino's, they're right now the employees making for your pizza, right?
Mhm.
So now is the machine learning is explode. So
Mhm.
pizza by making by machine learning. So,
Yeah.
So it's so convincing, and also the quality as the manner of quality. So it's like uh, you can organize like that. So
Mhm.
you can follow this like of development.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Is it like, let's say, something comes up,
Mhm.
like we have the old school, and after that, right now we have technology and all of these
Mhm.
things, so I have to keep up. Is it
Gotcha.
sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
organizing the change that we might need to do it for the business or for the company in order to keep on the track?
Yeah, it's part of it. Absolutely. Absolutely part of it. Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. So all those points that you guys made or came up with, they're all part of OD, right? All part of change management. At the end of the day, OD is about the changes or the things that you need to transform within your organization to help your company be better. Okay. Just because you have OD and you have change management doesn't necessarily mean that you need to change, right? If the processes, if the business is flourishing and is doing well and it's relevant, then there's no need to change. Okay. So don't automatically assume because you have OD in that it's something that has to happen all the time. Because there's companies that don't necessarily change. The people may change, but the processes and the things that go into it don't necessarily change, right? But because of the age that we're in now, right? Digital transformation is what we're really into right now. Everything's getting automated. Everything is going to, how do I streamline everything by using artificial intelligence, right? By using neural networks, by using all these other things, right? To enable me to be more efficient, right? Be more productive, right? And how is it that the AI or digital transformation, how does it make a company more efficient and more productive and more profitable?
For example, if AI is the simplest way, one person sit in one room.
Okay.
But if you go to the physical process, 20 persons will be there in one room. The infrastructure will be the one button to the one organization.
Okay.
And power will be the one button of the organization. But in AI, there will be no button expenses. One thing will be there in one stabilization.
Okay.
Only one room, one AC will be there, and the machine will be continued 24/7. It will run super.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely the crux of it, right? At the end of the day, when you're looking at, anybody else want to say something? No?
I used to work for like a Eagle Life company, it's a live streaming company. So it's all based on the AI.
Yeah.
So the full company. So I think even the AI not have the opportunity, like give the opportunity to other people to start even more business.
Well, okay.
Yeah, because it's all was based on the AI.
AI, right? So when you talk about digital transformation specifically, right, as it relates to all development change, and when you get the productivity and the efficiency, is that yes, you have a machine or you have an algorithm doing this particular job, right? But it's not just that; it's the comparison between the AI doing it and a person doing it, right? All right, and so I can expect less errors, right? The machine doesn't need a break. The machine doesn't take vacation. The machine doesn't care about a raise or promotion. The machine doesn't have any feelings, right? The algorithm doesn't care, right? All I care about is the code, all right? Who's coding it, all right? And is it clean code? Is it fast code? How many processors do I need? All right, that kind of thing, right? When you really get down to it, it's really the processing speed. It's not the data in AI, right? Don't get confused. It's not the data. It's that we can process it faster. All right. That's really the crux of it, right? And so when you start looking at these changes and you start to realize, okay, companies are going to start looking at AI in a different way, just that they've done now in the past couple of months. You've seen AI has been a big thing, right? Driving the stock market and all this other stuff. And companies are looking to leverage that capability because you know what? If I can do that, the better question is, what is the largest part or portion of the operating cost of a company? Where does most of the a lot of the money go for a company? If you have a company, where do you spend most of your money? Depends on the company itself.
Some companies made marketing.
Okay.
Some companies, like mostly in the operation and the members.
The members, the people, payroll, HR, human resource. 67% of the revenue and operating costs go to the staff, right? The personnel, right? If I can cut people from the process, right? Not only do I build efficiencies, but I also cut the financial, the fiscal obligation I have, right?
As per the government rules, 50% should be AI, 50% need to be human resources.
Right. It depends on the company, right? On what they do. Yeah, if you have a company that's all AIs, you may not necessarily need as much people, right? You may, you have a bunch of coders and other folks that do other stuff, cloud computing and all the other good stuff, right? But you may not need as many people. But definitely, you want to have You want to have a split that is good for your company, right? There's no such thing as a cookie cutter business strategy, right? Every company is different and depends on what industry you're in, how fast it moves, how much talent there is out there, that kind of thing, right? On how you manage your company and what kind of technology you will leverage, right? If you're an entrepreneur, right, like Kate, right? Kate's entrepreneur, okay? If you're an entrepreneur, then you will probably be looking for every AI or every tool that there is out there because guess what? Your marketing, your IT, your CEO, COO, vice president of HR, your everything, your operations, right? So why not get some
Yeah.
tools? What's that?
No,
What you
I'm
say?
just acknowledging what you're saying.
Oh, you're saying yes, you're everything, huh? You're everything, right? So you want to use as many tools as you possibly can, right? But if you're an entrepreneur, you have an organization, and you're the only person, right? Is there any real organizational development and change management going on? Of course there is. Always. Yeah, there's always change, right? Especially nowadays because of the digital transformation, right? We're consistently changing at such a fast pace, right? You go buy a computer now, when you walk out the store, it's already obsolete. Okay?
There's a new version.
There's a new version already out. Okay? Time I turn around, there's an update to every app I have on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just the way it is, right? But that's because all the change and organizational development and change is happening. They're trying to keep up with the competition, right? Everybody's trying to maintain their market share or steal somebody else's market share, right? And so it's imperative that you understand, okay, do I need to make a change is the first thing that you ask yourself as a CEO or change manager, right? And then two, what changes do I need to make, right? And how do you find that out? How do you know which changes you need to make?
Business activities.
Business activities, what else?
Yeah, discuss.
Discuss, right? You get your team together, hey, we need to do some research. We got 3 months. You build a survey, you build some kind of questionnaire, or maybe you do some qualitative research, you do interviews, focus groups, that kind of thing. Or you just do an analysis on your processes, and then you figure, okay, where can we get better? Okay, where can we improvise and move people out or bring more people in, or maybe it's more training. Okay, it's more training, or maybe we put business together, right? We put two units together, right? We do a vertical integration, right? And say, okay, you two are gonna be together, and you're the boss now for both sections. You were the boss, now you're the second guy in charge or gal in charge. Okay, so understanding the, if we need to change, right? The why, right? And what do we need to change matters. Okay. The timing matters. All right. How are we going to do it? Are we going to do it all at once? Are we going to break them in phases? Well, it depends on what kind of change it is. Right. If it's a big infrastructure change, probably going to do it in phases. But if it's something in a way, hey, we're going to get a new piece of software and, only the marketing department needs it, it's probably going to happen that day or the next day, whatever the case may be. They'll get some training and they'll move on. Okay. But OD is about making the organization better, right? Based on the people that you have, based on the talent that you have. It's a little different from traditional OD as compared to now. All right. Traditional OD was all about the people because that's all you had. Right. Now it's about not only the people, but the equipment, the AI, the machine learning, the computer, the processors, right? But in between that, what else there's something that you have to worry about when you're talking about, okay, I want to change, I want to develop the organization, I need to develop the people, right? I have to look at the equipment and the software I have or the applications I'm using, right? But there's something else that you need to look at and try to figure out
Financial.
the financials, right? How much is it going to cost me, right? How much is it going to cost? Is it worth it, right? Is this a fad? Is this something that just this hot this year, next year is gone. All right.
Myself, I need to be demonstrate to the CEOs how the structure will be works.
Yep.
And this budget will be suits to them or not. We need to prove ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And after they satisfied, if they got accepted,
Yeah.
accepted to that word, we can implement that.
Right.
consensus.
Yeah, exactly, right? You had the powers that be have to agree, first thing. And then it has to be something where you can look at it in the next 4 or 5 years and it will not be obsolete. It'll still be relevant, or at least it'll be still be workable in to some degree, right? That we will be able to keep up with the competition and not, get either our market share taken or we fall back, right? So everybody's familiar with Netflix, right?
Yeah.
All right. So does anybody know what Netflix was called before Netflix? What was Netflix before Netflix? Anybody know? No? Okay. Does anybody know? Was it?
Blockbuster?
No, good call though. That's another good company that is a change man OJ development case study. But Blockbusters, I usually talk about Blockbuster, but it's not Blockbuster. You're in the right lane. You're in the right area, but it's not Blockbuster. Yeah, you're in the right lane, right? Yeah, you're in the right lane. You took the wrong exit, but you're in the right lane. Okay. Where did Netflix? Where does Netflix get their content? Where do they get their movies from?
Fox.
Fox. Who else? Where does Netflix get their content from? When you go watch a movie on Netflix, where do they get it from?
Production.
Hmm?
Production companies.
Production companies. Okay. Okay. So some of them production companies, right? Because some of them are movies that we've seen in the theater, now they're on Netflix, right? But Netflix also has Netflix originals, right? Stuff that they make themselves, right? Okay. So Netflix has been doing that for about 2 years now. 2 years now, give or take. Okay. Before then, where did Netflix get their movies from?
DVDs.
Maybe. When you say DVDs, what do you mean DVDs? Did you look
Well,
something up?
No, I didn't even look it up.
Okay, good. Okay.
I just remember, I did it in class before, so I was trying to remember something what I did.
When you say DVDs, what do you mean?
It means I think something that has to do with rentals of movies and all that.
Okay, well, hold that thought. Because you're going, you getting to the end. To the
Yeah, I
point.
remember
You're getting to the
class.
point. Yeah, you're getting to the point, right? But where did Netflix get their movies from before? Production, yeah, but where specifically? No. Okay, so before Netflix started making their own stuff, they used to get their stuff from Disney. They used to buy it from Disney. Okay, we all know Disney. Every movie's a Disney movie. All right, parks, all kind of nonsense. Right? They're rich. Okay, so they got their stuff from Disney. Right? So, what do you think Disney, or what do you think made that relationship end? Money, partnership. Yeah, but why? Why did it end?
Netflix has the technology,
Netflix had the technology. What technology do they have?
the streaming technology.
Okay, but they were getting their content. They have the platform, but they don't have the content. All right, they're getting it from Disney. Why would Disney?
Because they started their own.
They started their own, right? Disney Plus, okay, and Hulu. Disney owns Hulu. Okay, if you didn't know that, all right? But Disney Plus, okay? Disney looked at it and said, "Oh, these guys are getting rich.
Let's just not we can do it.
And this is our stuff. We're doing the work. They just taking it and putting it on their platform, on their server. That's all it is. They taking them and putting in a bunch of servers, and you have access to the database. That's it. That's what they were doing, charging you $8 a pop. All right. They probably paid Disney $10 million a year, or something like that, $20 million. I don't know how much, whatever it is, right? Disney said, "No, this is crazy. We're gonna do this ourselves, right?" So they went out and created their own platform, Disney Plus, right? But before then, all right? Before Netflix, before Disney, all right? What were they called? What was Disney? What was Netflix called? And what did they do? Go back to you. The DVDs, right? Anybody remember? Oh, I don't even know if they even had this. Because some of you haven't been here long enough. So maybe no, they DVDs, right? So everybody familiar with
DVD and something like that.
in the TV you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, well not the TV, but in the
Video, DVD player.
the DVD
Yeah.
player, right?
Yeah.
But before Netflix, they were Redbox. Okay, there's still one in South Park somewhere. You'll see them in Ralph's here and there, right? CVS, or they used to mail you the DVDs. You could order it, right? That's when they started Netflix. You could order the DVDs. They send it to your house. You watch it. You put it back in the mail. You send it back. Okay. Now, what do you think happened from the time that the Netflix leadership, right, the Redbox leadership, what do you think made them change from Redbox to Netflix? Technology, right? Okay. What would you consider that? Going from Redbox to Netflix? Organizational change, right? Organizational development, right? We have analyzed the environment and we see that this digital transformation, this internet thing, is going to be something serious, right? This is where people are going to. This is where the consumer is going to. We need to go ahead and start to make this move and beat everybody, be first to market. Okay, first mover. And that's exactly what they did. Right? They took a chance and said, you know what? We see this coming and we're gonna jump on it. Right? And that's how Netflix has the biggest market share because they were the first to market and they did really well, built an excellent platform, right? But they didn't have the content. Why not go to the biggest content provider in the world? Say, hey, we just want to borrow some of your movies. You can still show them elsewhere, but we want to show them too, right? And we'll pay you, right? And so it was that organizational change and development change that really by the leadership created this Netflix thing, right? But without the leadership, without the foresight, without the vision, right, they would never be there. They would be like Blockbuster, okay? Because Blockbuster, I don't think Blockbuster was around when you guys were even little. Was Blockbuster around? Anybody here go to Blockbuster growing up? There wasn't even a Blockbuster around, right? No. Okay.
So does
Yes.
organizational change also mean rebranding?
Yes, sometimes, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely could be part of it, right? Because if you've gone through something and it's detrimental and that association with the name is still there, you may want to rebrand, right? Because it's
Yes.
affecting your business. So you have to make some changes. And that may mean firing some people, moving some positions around. All right. So it is part of development and change for sure. You have a question? Okay. And so when you see these changes occurring, they occur because the leadership is paying attention. All right. As the leader, all right, you have to have some foresight. All right. This is what's the CEO's main job? What is as a CEO? What is your objective in life?
You own the vision of the company?
What's going on? You own the vision of the company, right?
Give directive.
You give directive, right? But what Kate said is the most critical thing. Know the vision of the company. What is the vision? What is the long-term perspective goal that you have, right? That's your job as CEO, right? You go out there, you kind of see what's on the horizon, and you build relationships. Business development. That's what CEOs do. CEOs don't sit there, don't read financial statements and stuff like that. They don't care to the end. 10K, 8K reports. Yeah, okay. How's the stock doing? Yeah, that's fine. All right. But CEOs, they're concerned with, okay, I want to see what the vision is. This is my vision for the company because companies want to be around forever. Okay. When I turn around, when I'm dead, I want this company to keep going. 100 years, 150 years. that kind of thing, right? So that's the CEO's main goal, main objective. That's why they hire. That's why they get paid so much, right? Lead the company into the future, right? But if you have a CEO or leadership that is stagnant, is just happy with the success that they're enjoying right now, you're gonna get left behind, especially nowadays, because things move like this. Okay? I mean, when I was a kid, we had 4 channels on the TV. Yeah, on the old TVs, you had to turn, right? You had to put sometimes they put a hanger in the thing because I couldn't get the station right. Okay. And if your show was at 4 o'clock, you weren't home at 4 o'clock, you missed your show. You gotta wait till next week. Hopefully they show it again sometime in the next 5-6 years. Okay, good luck. Okay. That's it. That's all you get. Your friends tell you about it, how great it was, and you missed it. Okay, that's all you get. Nowadays, things move so fast, and you can always access everything 24/7. Right? That's a huge change from when I was growing up to what it is now. Okay? That is also organizational change and development, right? But on a global scale, right? Because not every country has changed. Not every country has developed, right? This is why we have developing countries, right? We have developed countries, we have superpowers, right? They're going through different stages of change and development, right? But it takes the leaders to understand we need to change to keep up with the times based on
Vision.
On what?
Vision.
Not just region. Based on my mission. Okay? What is the organizational mission? What are the values of the country or the company, right? What is our moral system? Okay? This is why some countries are here and other countries are here. It's not that one country is better than the other. It's just that the value systems and the way that we think about life and the way we want to live life are different, right? United States is very capitalistic, right? It's I, right? Individualism, right? You go to other countries, it's collectivism. We, right?
Yeah.
Almost socialist, sort of, but not really. We call it socialism, but it is what it is, right? But you see that these other countries that are more collective, a lot of times they're a little behind in technology, right? They're a little behind in developing because, what? No, it's not necessarily the competition. It's just that their goals are not the same, right? When you come here, right? We live here. What's your goal? What's your goal be? What's your goal to come here into school?
Better life.
You want a better life, right? But to get a better life, you need to get money, right? Because that's the way we do it. But what does a better life constitute? What does a better life mean for you? What does it mean for you? What it means? It means something different for all of us, right? For one person, it may mean having a big fancy car. For somebody else, like, I don't care about a car. As long as I got my family, I got the best life ever, right? And so based on that, you'll see different progression, right? People will change in different ways because especially as you get older, certain things don't matter anymore. Okay? You start to prioritize differently, right? It's the same thing in companies, right? The longer you're around, the less change sometimes you see, or maybe you do see a change that you need to adapt to, but you're more, hesitant or you're more careful. But the driving force is the mission. What is it that we do? Right? Do we really want to venture out into something else and change because that's the hot thing or that's what everybody else is doing? No, let's stick to our core competencies, right? Make those strong and stay in our lane, right? Because you start going outside your lane, right? You'll call it organizational change and development, but it's really not. You're just chasing the dollar at the end of the day. Okay. So you see a lot of companies, a lot of countries, they don't necessarily change. It's not because they don't have the knowledge or the cognitive abilities. Like, so I'm going to use India for instance. Okay. India has the most technical most educated people in the world. Okay, everybody knows that. All right, aside from maybe China, right? And I don't even think China, as far as like the most engineers, the most lawyers, like you guys have, India has the most technically scientific STEM people, right? That's why everybody goes to India for whatever they need when it comes to tech stuff, right? Attempt to science or math or very high level things, right? But at the same time, India is considered a developing country. Okay? Now, why is that? Right? Yeah. But all of those.
Governance.
Government, everyone, right? But it starts at the top. If the leaders want to coordinate, have governance, they can. They don't want to because their mentality, their mind state is, hey, good governance, right? Or I want to stay in power, and if I give you this, I might not be in power anymore because then you kind of see the light, sort of, right? Okay, and so you see that in organizations also. Okay, you'll see CEOs and COOs afraid to fail, afraid to make changes because they're not really sure if the changes are going to be accepted. They're not really sure if the changes are going to be effective. All right, and so you have to understand that. Okay, all right. What time is it? 6:37. Okay, 10-minute break. Come back at 6:50. Okay, and then we will continue on. All right. What everybody? What happened to my thing? Kate, why'd you disappear off my TV screen?
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's not you. No, it's am I on the PowerPoint on the screen on my TV. I had everybody that was on Zoom just there, but then I don't know where it went to. Nope, that's not gonna work. Nope, that's not gonna work either.
So we have the 2 weeks.
Oops.
Because we don't know. We don't know the subject. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Yep. So display slides.
Yeah. Professor,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
In alley one,
Mm-hmm.
learning engagement, what is about the storytelling? Let's is about the professional and personal, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I read in alley one your question, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is story about us
Okay.
means so is about the personal or private means profession.
Yeah.
So we don't need to cite our story,
No,
right?
no, not
So
unless you use
is
some kind of statistic.
learning engagement what there is no citation. I
No.
think so.
If it's something personal, like I say, hey, tell me about your background, tell me about you, what you think about this and that. No, you could still use a citation to maybe say,
If we can we do some points from the online,
Right, yeah.
then we get
or
the
a
citation.
statistic, right? If you
Yeah.
say, 90% of what I do is such and such, right? I know even that
Because
doesn't count.
I understand the question like about story.
Mhm.
So story have no citation.
Right. Yeah, if it's a story or if it's a personal account, no. No citation.
Thank you.
All right, no worries. Where is my... Hmm. There we go. There we go.
Hello, Professor. I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
All right.
It's easy.
Famous last words. It's easy. It's easy, no problem.
Because they have the first class, so.
Of course, yeah.
When
Yeah.
I have the first class, then I also be content and.
Yeah. Change, like
Just we do it timely, that's. it.
time, that's it. Change, you may not think you're going through change now, but you are. All right. It's your first time taking the class. You gotta get used to the system. You gotta get used to, being in class, get used to me, get used to your classmates. That's a big change, right? How's it impact your life? What you could be doing is 2.5 hours, someplace else doing other things, right? It's a change. And so we all go through change as individuals. And so as an individual going through change, how does that contribute to the overall change of the group? Okay. What impact does that have, right? How you handle change is important in how it impacts the team dynamic, right? Because if you can't handle the change well, right, you're probably not gonna produce quality work. You're probably not gonna be nice to be or fun to be around, right? You're gonna be irritable. You're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna have not too much patience, right? I don't want to work with anybody like that. I want you, come to work and you want to build friends at work, right? You don't want to come to work and like, I don't like that guy, right? Or girl, I don't like them, right? You want to come to work and like have a good rapport, a good relationship with your coworkers. But when you're going through change, whether it be at work or at home, right? Those things have an impact on how you produce, your work in your life in general, right? All relationships do. So, all right. So, okay. Now, we talked about OD a little bit, right? And within an organization, when you're going through organizational development and change, there are different people that are going to pop up, okay? And what I mean by that, there's going to be different roles that everybody plays, right? Because everybody can't be the change manager. Everybody can't be, the person that is in charge of the change or one of the lead components of the change or whatever the case may be. So within the organization, within the change, you'll have certain people fill certain roles, right? So you have about 5 or 6 different roles that come out of change management, right? The first one is director, okay? And so when you think of director, what do you think of? Order, you said? Okay, what else? When you think of the term director, what do you think of?
Senior executive or the owner of the company.
Okay, maybe senior executive, owner of the company, maybe, all right? What else?
That can be the process director, can be IT director would be there for one organization.
Okay, all right. So as a director, right, in change, you're kind of the lead, right? You're the person that is looking at it from, an aerial view, right? The 1,000-mile perspective and saying, what are all these pieces here, right? And how do I manage all these pieces, okay, within that change process? Because without someone that is there kind of making sure everything stays together, things are going to fall apart, right? Because change inherently is difficult. Most people don't want to change, right? You can try to change certain things about your life, but it takes time, right? How long does it take to form a habit? Anybody know? Based on what's out there as far as research. How long does it take to form a habit? To develop a habit, a routine. How long? I'm talking about like in days and time, right? Seconds? Maybe? No?
How you think?
A routine? How long?
How you think?
Yeah.
You think right now, you can
Um,
change it. But certain habits.
Well, sometimes you don't even know when you get the habits.
right. So, okay, so let me not say, maybe habits is that not the right, because you're associated with a bad connotation, right? Not a bad habit. Yeah, not a bad habit, just any habit, any routine, right? Let's just say for instance, you decide, oh, I'm gonna try to lose some weight. I'm gonna go to the gym. Okay. How long do you think it's gonna take you to be consistent with that to where you're not fighting it every day?
Yeah.
Years?
Maybe yes. It's
Depends on the person, yeah, but
I think
There's
it
a number.
depends on the consistency if you can be consistent about it.
well, that's the thing. How do you build that consistency? How long does it take to build that
Put
consistency?
the work.
Yeah, how long does it take? There's a number.
Sometimes while is
Not that long.
A day.
Not that long. It usually takes about 30 days. 30 days for you to do. If you do something for 30 days consistently,
It can continue. Yeah.
it becomes a habit
Habit.
with less friction.
True.
With less, yeah, it becomes very
Part of you.
part of you, right? It becomes automatic, all right? And so when you're looking at, a director, somebody who's trying to build some consistency, right, in the change, at looking at whatever change it is, right? They're trying to make sure that things stay consistent. Okay. I'm not necessarily trying to, because I already know what the change is. The change, whatever it is a director. And when I say director, I don't mean a positional director. I mean more like director of, like, you go here, you kind of move. Somebody who directs things in an informal way, sort of, right? All these particular, move back here. All these particular titles or images or faces of change, they're not formal titles. They're just kind of like the person that pops up. Okay. And so when you have someone who's in a director mode, they're more likely to be the one that kind of like, you go here, you go here. This is resources going kind of there. This resource kind of there. But it doesn't matter necessarily on the position that the person holds. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. Okay. You're gonna have these informal type positions that roll up on you and just kind of like, oh, okay, this person just kind of natural leader, right? Or people just gravitate to them looking for direction, looking for, hey, what do we need to do to, kind of, where do we need to go, right? They're not giving you any details, just telling you where to go, what to use, that kind of thing, right? So you have your director. The next one is you have coach, right? When we think about a coach, right, what do you think about a coach? What comes to mind?
Training. Trains you to be better.
Mm-hmm.
teacher.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher,
Mm-hmm. What
is
else?
a manager.
Manager.
Every time you be part of a team,
Mm-hmm.
you will monitor how the team,
Okay.
and you will think every team need to be
Gives
equivalent to
each
see build a match,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
achieve the success.
So coach, right? When you think about a coach, think about someone that's teaching you skills, right? Or helping you enhance your skills, right? So let's just take football, for instance, right? International football, real football, soccer, all right? We all know Messi and Ronaldo and all these, Sultan and all these other great players, right? Huh? Yeah, exactly. You know all these great players, right? But they still have coaches. Okay? No matter how Michael Jordan had a coach. Okay, it doesn't matter how great they were, right? So the coach is there to help you enhance your skills, right? Point out some of your deficiencies and how you can work on them, right? How we can work as a group better. Okay? This is important in change management. Because you're a coach, yeah.
You're a coach.
Yeah, I'm your coach somewhat, yeah, because you're kind of going through a change, right? You're kind of going through a change, but right, even within the class, within yourselves, there's a director, there's a coach, there's a nurturer, there's a navigator, right? You guys don't know it yet, right? But once you get something that you have to do, like just say, if I just say, hey, case study right now, if I just threw it in the middle, get this case study done as you guys, 6 guys here, all right? You would see the different roles come out, right? Some of you are more quiet than others. A lot of you, some are more active or more, extrovert or is more talkative, right? Some, are quiet, but They're thinking. Brain's going a mile a minute, right? Some people are talking, they're not thinking about too much. All right. They're afraid to say something, right? They're just like, okay. So you'll see the roles come out, right? And that's how it is in organizational change and management. It's that different people will have to come out because you'll have what we call a champion, right? And every change that a company goes through, they have someone called a champion. And again, it's not an official title. A champion is just someone at the higher level who is an advocate for this change, sort of like a cheerleader for this change. Okay. So let's just say the CEO says, hey, we got to do this change here. We have to merge or we have to put in some software. We need to cut personnel. He or she is probably going to tell the COO this is what needs to happen. The COO or one of the presidents or vice presidents or something, they're going to be in charge of the change. Okay. You got it. You're the lead. That person is going to be the face of the change for the organization. When the workforce sees this person, that person is going to be like, hey, we need to make this change. And these are all the reasons why. Okay. The pros and cons of why we need to do this. If you don't have a champion, someone with authority and leverage and decision-making ability that's in front of the workforce that is advocating for the change will probably not happen. Okay. If there's a change going on and we're all peers, right? We're all on the same level. We're all middle managers or we're all executives and there's a change that needs to happen. Probably not gonna happen. All right. You know when it's gonna happen? When the CEO says, hey, make it happen. All right. Because you need somebody that you can point to and says, hey, this is the higher authority. There must be something going on, must be a need for this change if the boss is telling me, and the boss is telling me all this great stuff about this change. Okay. The same thing with, Redbox and Netflix. Think about the conversation they had to have. Right? Hey, let's take this lucrative business we have, right? Takes a little manpower, but we're making lots of money with this video thing, all right? And now we're gonna say we're gonna mail it now, okay? And then now you want to go to the internet? Like, how are we gonna do all that, right? How is this change gonna take place? What type of people do we need for this change, right? Because we don't have any of those people. We don't have any digital folks. We don't have anybody in code. We don't have anybody that's production. You're not just talking about code. You're talking about production. You're talking about software development, application development. You're talking about all these different people that they had to kind of bring together, right? How do you kind of make that change at the same level? You can't, right? You have to have a champion, right? And in having a champion, that person will be the face or the advocate for the change, will push the change. Anything that, as far as communication that is related to the organization and we're trying to get something out, it's going to come from that person, right? Because that's the person you're going to see, right? It's not going to be the director, right? Or the person that we deem as the director, right? The champion is different from those people, right? They're not the same. Now, sometimes they can be, but they typically are not, all right? Because the champion really needs to be somebody on a high level that's in the C-suite, right? In the corporate suite, that's some big shot or somebody you never see. You see them once in a while, right? And then all of a sudden they come out and say, we gotta make this big change, right? Okay, like yeah, just like that. We gotta go, right? I used to work at Toyota. And in Toyota, they decided they were gonna leave Toyota and go to Texas. Okay. Because California is expensive. And the state didn't want to give me tax breaks. There's a lot of things in California. A lot of companies don't want to come to California because California has some of the strictest HR laws and they don't give a lot of benefits and that kind of thing. Control, a lot of that stuff. So Toyota said, forget it, we're out of here. We're leaving, right? And they were headquartered in Torrance. Anybody from Torrance in LA? It's part of LA. They've been there 60, 70 years. Generations of people, generations of family. We had grandmothers, daughters, mothers, and sons that worked there. All right. So they said, hey, we're leaving, we're going to Texas, right? But they never told anyone. They didn't tell the workforce. They did it behind the scenes because they wanted to have everything in place, all right? And one of the key things about change, all right, is communication, all right? And so the leadership was like, we're just gonna wait till we have everything ready to go because there's a lot of questions, all right? Toyota employs about 50,000 people at the headquarters, okay? Not all of them are actually employees, most of them are contractors. Toyota has about 5,000 full-time employees, the rest of them contractors, right? But at the same time, they all live in the local area, that kind of thing. They've been with Toyota 10, 15, 20 years, and they live in Torrance or LA. And so what happened was the news got heard that Toyota was going to move. So they called Toyota to say, hey, is this true you guys are going to move? They say, yes, we're going to move, but don't report it yet. Give us a chance to get everything together because people are going to have questions about pay. People are going to have questions about retirement. People are going to have questions about benefit. They have a lot of questions. Do I have to move? What happens if I don't move? There's a lot of questions, right? A lot of HR questions, a lot of just questions in general. And they asked I think it was the LA Times, not to report. Well, the LA Times said, whatever, and we're going to report, right? And so the way everybody found out that they were moving to Texas was through the news, right? So that didn't go well. That didn't go well at all, okay? I remember that day at work. The phones were ringing like crazy. Everybody was calling, okay? And Toyota wasn't ready. Now, that's not to say that Toyota was necessarily wrong or the Times or whoever reported was wrong, because it is public information. Toyota is a big part of that community and that kind of thing, right? But Toyota should have just been upfront and had communicated that earlier on, okay? And so once that happened, they had to figure out, okay, who we're going to put in front of the workforce now as the champion, okay? Now, based on the situation and what happened, they just couldn't put anybody up there. It had to be somebody really, really important, all right? So guess who was the champion? The COO, okay? Normally not something that he would be doing, right? But because this got out of hand, you're not a champion because we need to reassure the workforce from the top, right? Not from over here, but from the very top, and they see you as the COO. No, whatever you say is the truth, okay? Because we need to build that trust back up because now our trust is done. Trust has collapsed. They don't trust us. Everybody's looking crazy, anxiety, right? They're gonna get laid off. They're leaving. What do I do? I've been working here 30 years, 40 years. I got my kids working here 20, 10 years, whatever the case may be, right? So they had to get the COO to be the champion. And the COO, to his credit, did a great job. Brought it back in, like, hey, the reason we didn't say anything because we wanted to make sure we had all the questions, all the answers to the questions we're gonna have, right? And of course, they had a big meeting. They had a town hall meeting. Basically, they brought everybody in and said, okay, what's your questions? And of course, they didn't have all the answers because they didn't have time to get all the stuff together, okay? So having the champion is important, right? Especially when you don't necessarily do it the right way or things happen and you have to adapt to the change, right? Even them reporting that Toyota was going to move is a change itself, right? That's something you have to be able to adapt to. And change is about adaptability, right? Flexibility, being able to say, you know what, reflexive and saying, hey, I see this is coming. How am I going to handle it? Am I going to let it run me over? All right. Or am I going to step up to the challenge and figure out how do I navigate through all this? All right. That's really what change is about. So you have your director, you got your coach. Okay. What else? You got your nurturer, right? Well, your navigator is next. All right, we'll just go with navigator. Okay. So we'll go with navigator, right? And you have that person who's the navigator. Okay. And the navigator is there to kind of point you in the right direction. Okay. The director tells you where to go, but once you get there, what do I do? Right? Where do I go from there? Where do I go to get the things I need? Okay. Because I got the coach. The coach tells me how to use the things I have. right? But the navigator tells me where do I go get those things, right? Where do I need to be? It really is what the navigator's job is, right? And again, those particular roles will just occur naturally, right? In an informal way. The person usually that's been there the longest, that has the most experience, typically is one of these roles, the coach or the nurturer or the director, right? And it's never the person you think is gonna be, right? It's never the person that is the loudest or or is the most popular person. Sometimes it's somebody, it's like, okay, they're capable, and for some reason people just go to them, right? Right? They just come talk. They just go, hey, I got a question. Ask Bob. Bob knows. I got a question. Ask Bob. I don't know how to do this. Ask Bob. Everybody's going to Bob, right? Bob informally now is the coach or the navigator or the director. Okay. Bob didn't ask for the job, right? But Bob got it, right? Because everybody's gonna come to Bob, right, for their questions and their answers, right? The key is that any changes you go through is gonna have these people inherent of the system, right? Inherent of the process. If you don't have these roles fulfilled in some capacity, right, the change is probably not gonna happen because you need those people. You need those people, right? Because the COO, the CEO, the president, the corporate managers, the senior executives, they can't be everywhere at once. First thing. Secondly, those folks tend to not be the best leaders for whatever reason. Okay, not always, right? They tend to be worried about their job and not messing up, right? So you're gonna have to within the workforce, your peers, sort of, right? Even if they're not your peers, but within the workforce, you're gonna have those people that are going to just kind of get those roles. They're just gonna be stuck with them, okay? But you need that within the change process. All right, interpreter. All right. So this is a person that kind of translates things. And what I mean by translates things is it's more or less like the champion may say something, right? Oh, we may have a task, right, that's associated to some kind of change, right? But you really don't understand what it is, right? Let's just say, for instance, we're going from, some manual process to AI or some automation, okay? And you have somebody who doesn't really understand the software, doesn't understand, how to even install it, right? If anybody here has older parents, I have my dad's 82, right? And I gave him an iPhone. Big mistake. Okay? He doesn't know what to do with it. He can barely send pictures, the texting is what it, yeah, not good, right? So I have to interpret for him what is an app, okay? What is FaceTime, or yeah, what is FaceTime, or what's what's an emoji, right? I have to interpret those things for him because he doesn't understand. Like, okay, it's a picture, but what does it mean? Why would you send that?
Yeah.
Right? Because oh yeah, it's Kate laughing. Why would you send that? Okay, so there's an interpreter. It's the same thing during change, right? For him, that's a change because he's used to his flip phone, right? He's used to pressing the one button to get to the D, right? You remember when you had to you send a text? Okay, oh my goodness, this is gonna take forever, right? That's him. That's what he likes. That's what he's used to, right? So having to change from the iPhone or from that to the iPhone is huge for him, right? And at his age, is it worth it to him? Okay. And this is one of the problems you're going to face when you're dealing with change. How important is the change to the individual? Right? It's important to the company, right? And organizational success, but how important is it to you as an individual? Right? If it's not a priority, or if you don't at least embrace it, it's not gonna take hold. Right? There's a couple of things you're gonna face when you are trying to implement change. You're gonna have the people that are like, yes, change is good, let's do this. Okay? You're gonna have the people that I don't care. Left, right, bottom, top, just tell me what to do. Okay? Then you have the people that are like, nope, not changing. Okay? And those are the ones you have to find. Okay? The nope, I'm not gonna do it. Right? Because the nope, I'm not gonna do it are the ones that are gonna stifle your change. Right? I remember when we first started using computers, and I grew up in an era of we had typewriters. Right? When you went to school, you had typing class, and we had, typewriters at work. You mess up, you had to step back, use the white paint, or you just took it out together and just tossed it, right? And there was no, if it burnt up or coffee spilled on it, that was that. You're done. Unless you made copies of it real quick, that was that, right? There was no, I'm just gonna back up my file and no, right? And I remember we had an older gentleman, and we had everybody got a new computer, right? And it made our work process more efficient. The flow was faster. We could process things much quicker. Our processing time went from 1 week to 2 days, right? So the consumer was definitely happy, right? Our whoever our customer was happy. We were happy because it helped us to be more efficient on work, right? And it cut out a lot of the other stuff that we, archiving, copy machine, right? That we save a lot of money on printing and all this other stuff, right? Well, he did not like the computer, right? Now, why do you think he didn't like the computer?
Because you don't know.
He don't know about it, right? He's scared to learn. He's scared that he's not going to understand it. He's scared that if I don't understand it, then guess what? They're going to get rid of me, right? So instead of me embracing this new technology because I don't like it, I don't understand it, and I'm scared, I'm going to put up a fight to try to keep up or keep what I know, okay? To keep what I know. But it can't work, right? Why can't it work?
Because he's not gonna be efficient as
He's not gonna be as efficient as everybody else, right? Now that's if he's working independently. But what if he's working as part of a process of a flow?
So slow down.
He's not slowing them, he's stopping them.
Slow them down.
Okay? Yeah, he's not slowing, he's stopping. Right? Everything will come to a halt, right? Whatever job he has in the process, that's where it's gonna take the longest. Okay? Because he's yep. Messed up, right? That's the one thing, right? The second thing is he won't be able to interface with us. Okay? Same thing technology, same problem technology has, right? One company has one system, another company has another system. They can't talk to each other, right? Have to get an interface. Okay? Same thing in a team dynamic or workflow. He has a typewriter, he's banging out these paper, this hard, tangible stuff. We are digital on our computers using Microsoft Word. How am I supposed to stick that in the computer? I can't stick in the computer, right? And this is way back in the day. We didn't have scanning just yet. We had scanning machines, but not everybody had one, all right? So, and even then, it didn't work that great. Not like it works now, okay? So there's no interface, right? That's the second thing. The third thing is now the team is upset, right? Because you're slowing us down. You won't learn the new system. You're making more work for us because everything gets stopped where it gets to you, right? The consumer is unhappy. The boss is not happy, right? And you won't change, okay? So the team dynamic starts to come off, right? And now instead of us trying to focus and help this person get it together, we start bickering amongst ourselves, right? He needs to get out. Like, why don't you do something? Why don't you talk to him? No, you talk to him. All right, he's your buddy. Talk to him. All right, you know him better than me. You hang out with him. Talk to him. All right. So you have a lot of things that happen when that this it doesn't take place. Now, eventually, we sent him to training, and it was like, hey, just learn the system. Learn how to use. It's a computer. We're not asking you to, forget how to type. You still need to type, right? But it's just a faster way of doing things. And once he figured out, like, oh,
Upgrade.
right, it's not that hard, right? Things are usually easier than you think in your head, right? Except for maybe calculus or something. Okay, that's hard. Right? Well, not for the engineers in here, of course. Right? Engineers in here, like, what? Differential equation? Nah, it's nothing. Right? But it's never as hard, especially once you get familiar with it and you figure it out. Okay, this is cool, and then you realize, oh, this is good. This is a good change. Okay, so but the way he changed is because we had these different images, right? We had these different people. We had a nurturer, we had a navigator, we had a director, right? We had all these different roles that people kind of like hit on him, right? Because that's the person, or those are the people that you need to touch to tell them, hey, go talk to him, go get him right, help him figure it out, right? It's not going to be the CEO, it's not going to be COO, it's not going to be the president, right? It's going to be one of those people that fill that role and say, hey, what's going on? You need me to sit down with you after work and we can go through it little by little, slowly, right? At your pace. I'll explain to you, right? That takes a nurturer, that takes a coach, that takes the director to say, okay, this is the way things are gonna go, right? And let me help you out here, right? And interpreter too, right? Because you gotta be able to interpret stuff. And then you got your caretaker. Now, the caretaker is like, I guess, the grandma, the mom, or the big brother, big sister of the group, right? They're there to make sure that everybody is kind of not only, physically okay, but mentally okay, that they have what they need, right? That the change is not overwhelming, that the change is not, you know, um, causing you stress, okay? The change is not, um, being detrimental to who you are per se, okay? So, let me say, let's see, it's a magic choice, anybody can shepherd thing, yeah, they can't, right? So,
Like the same as the previous example,
mm,
maybe the caretaker can see the
yeah.
guy who's broke, right?
Mhm. Absolutely, yeah. Because then the caretaker be like, okay, I see that this person having some stress, some anxiety about dealing with the computer, right? And trying to figure it out, right? Let me go try to see if I can help them. They may not necessarily know any more than the other person, but they're more comfortable than he is, right? And so, as in general, they might be the caretaker for everybody. Like when everybody has a problem or some issue that has to do with life, or just in general, they go, hey, let's talk, let's go have some coffee, let's go drink some tea, and let's talk about something else. We don't have to talk about work. Let's talk about just whatever you want to talk about, or let's just talk and hang out, right? That's their caretaker role, right? And so again, within the change management process, you have all these particular people that fill these different roles, and you may have a number of them, not just one. You have a bunch of them, or a group of them, that you can access throughout the process, right? Because again, you're gonna have different types of folks that are okay with the change, folks that are fighting the change, right? And those are the people that you need to identify, especially as the champion, right? As a champion, who do you think I'm gonna go to figure things out? Who do you think I'm gonna ask about how things are going during the change? Like out of all those roles, who would you think the CEO or the champion would go ask to be like, hey, how are things going? How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? Yeah, maybe. No, out of the roles we just talked about. Yeah, I probably would ask the director. Yeah. Yeah, I would ask the director or maybe the caretaker, right? Well, depending on what I was looking for. Like if I was looking for mental and just general well-being, I would ask the caretaker. Yeah. But if I was asking for like, hey, how's everybody doing with implementing and integrating the change into their daily work, then I would ask the director, right? Say, hey, everybody comes to you, everybody looks up to you. You kind of, I see you moving things around for people. People come and ask you questions. What do you think about the change? What do you think how's everybody doing, right? Who are the people that are having a hard time accepting the change, right? They're gonna know, right? And so that's the person I will go and talk to and say, what is the feel for the change, right? Because most change, the company, the workforce is not gonna be on board. They're not that they're not gonna fight you, but at the same time, it's not gonna be like, yeah, yeah, fantastic, right? It depends unless it's a change that has to do with them getting more money somewhere directly, right? And the longer the change takes, right, the more likely it is that people are going to be upset about it because the longer the change takes, probably indicates that's a pretty big change, right? And so a lot of people, a lot of the workforce, they're not going to be happy about it. But if it's a quick, immediate change, you probably get more receptive because they can be okay, something that's going to take a week or something, and boom, and yeah, I'll get used to it and I'll finish it up, right? But if you have something that's long term, a lot of people are going to question the change, right? And they question it because they don't have the big picture. This is where the champion comes in. This is where the champion has to be an advocate and to be very vocal and be present, right? Be visible to the workforce, right? You can't be the champion and then we don't see you for weeks at a time. Champion, a couple of times a week, should see something, should see me. I should be probably walking around, just checking on folks, just, hey, how you doing? Everything okay? Hey, show me what you learned or, tell me what you think about the change and that kind of thing, right? I'll find out who's who in the zoo, like who the nurturers are, who does everybody go to talk to, right? I'll go talk to them and get an idea and get a pulse for myself as a champion as to how the change is going, right? Because without those people, the change is not going to happen. I have to get everybody on board, right? And if I have any dissenters or anybody that's against the change, I have to find them. I have to lock them down. I have to persuade them. I have to kind of figure out, like, how do I get you on board? What about the change that you don't like? Tell me, okay? Because in many instances, if it's something that they don't like, it's probably something that's you missed that's important to the change, right? A lot of times companies have changes, but they don't necessarily analyze the change wholeheartedly. They make the change, but they make it from a perspective of a peer in a bubble. Any change you're gonna make that's gonna affect the company, you have to get the input from the workforce. There's no way around it, okay? Because they're the ones that's executing. Okay? So if you make the change up here and you don't get any buy-in from the workforce, or at least you don't let them know, the change is not gonna happen. It doesn't matter what, right? You got to fire people, you got to fire the whole company because they're not gonna be like, no, you don't do this, we do this, right? You tell us what to do, but we do it. And then when we do it, I have X, Y, Z, all right? And now you're affecting X, Y, Z. And you didn't ask me how to really refine to make this better. You just decided on your own, we're gonna do ABC because you think it's better when it's not better. DEF is better, right, than XYZ, but you need to ask me because that's what I'm doing. That is a couple of things for you. All right. One, it builds trust, right? Because trust is at the foundation of any change, because it's at the foundation of any relationship. You have to build trust within your organization. If the workforce trusts you and what you say and what you do, they're gonna do anything you ask them to do, right? But if you don't trust you, right? If they don't have any faith in you, they don't believe anything you say, they're not doing anything. Not doing anything without some kind of extrinsic reward, right? Intrinsic something. You're gonna give me more money, you're gonna give me a day off, you're gonna give me something, right? And I'll do it. Not because, I know it's part of the change, but because you give me some money because I don't trust you, right? You have to garner the trust. Once you get the trust, the change is gonna come, right? Because it's gonna be a matter of talking. And this is where you get different types of leaders, different type of, people that, will be listened to and followed, right? So if you look at different everybody remember President Clinton, Bill Clinton, right? Now, super smart person, right? Rhodes Scholar, all this other stuff, right? But President Clinton was very charismatic. He's what? Very good talker, right?
Yeah.
Very good talker, right? He's a people person. He liked to do people stuff. He liked to be in the crowd and shake hands and talk to people. How's your day going? How's your family? Oh yeah, I do this too. I play the saxophone. I eat, I like to just relax and chill. He was relatable, okay? Very relatable. So when he asked someone to do something, people did it because they didn't want to disappoint him. They didn't want to let him down. It's not because he gave him any money. He didn't give him anything, all right? Because they wanted to do it for him, right? It's kind of like when you do something for your parents. Not because they take care of you, because you care about them and you don't want to disappoint them, all right? Your wife, your husband, your kids, your family, you don't want to disappoint them. But for your boss, right? If he's a transactional type leader, right, or authoritarian type leader, I'm not gonna do nothing for you until you tell me to do it. And even then, you might have to tell me 2 or 3 times to do it, and then I'm not even gonna do it right. Okay, maybe, right? But most of us, we're professionals. We're gonna do it right the first time, and we're gonna do okay, fine, no matter. We're gonna do it right, but it's not gonna be at the same level of commitment, right? If it doesn't work, you're like, it didn't work. Okay, what's next?
I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be disappointed. I'm not gonna be sad about it. I'm not gonna be depressed. Like, yeah, boss, I tried. Okay, what are we gonna do next? All right, you want me to try again? Okay, no problem. You're not gonna go home and lose any sleep over it. Okay, and so it's important that you realize or you notice these different type of leaders, right? And then with that, where do the leaders access kind of knowledge about the change about the company? Is through these different images of people, right? To the nurturer, to the caretaker, to the navigator, to the director, right? All those folks play a role in making sure that the change happens. Right? But it's very informal. It's not anything that is written down on paper. Nobody has a title as the caretaker. All right. Everybody just knows I don't know, Amy makes cookies. So we're gonna get some cookies from Amy, right? And it makes us feel better, and then we go back to work. All right, that kind of thing. So those kind of things happen in the workplace when you're talking about order change, order development and change. All right. Okay, so we just talked about some OD, talked about the different images of change or the faces of change. Okay, so get your LE in. Tomorrow is due tomorrow midnight, right?
Yeah.
LE1. 11:59. Okay. Be mindful of deciding if you need to cite. I think LE1 is more of a personal, account. So you don't need to cite necessarily if it's a personal account or an opinion. If I'm asking you, like, hey, what do you think about this? You can cite if you use something to support your point. But if you're just telling a story about yourself or a situation that occurred, you don't need to cite for that, right? But get in the habit of practicing. Make sure you use your references, have a reference list and that stuff. Get the APA manual if you can. You go to Amazon, you can get one for $6 or $7 used. That's the best ones, people writing the lines and yeah, you can get a used one. Used one's fine. Just get the 7th edition. Okay. It's fine. And you use that. I use it now still to write and do my things, right? Has everything in it. Make sure you get with your group, right? Find out who your group mates are or gonna be. Get that to me by next week, but I'll bring it up again next week when we have class. Monday is a holiday, so no class. Okay. So if you just have that class on Monday, no class. I'll see you on Tuesday at the same time. All right. And if you have any questions, email me. Okay. You can text me. Emergency, right? Emergency, right? Not the case, might be sleeping or partying or something. Okay.
Oh,
What you laughing at, Kate? Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
All right. Zoom. Chewa, you have any questions? Bang.
No, thank you, Professor.
Okay. All right. If not, then I will see you guys next week, next Tuesday. All right. Make sure you get all your work in and read
Okay.
chapters. Okay. Read.
Yeah.
All right. Look at the PowerPoints and we're good. Yes. Question.
Is there possible to get the lecture early?
Oh, you guys want to do it earlier? It's up to the group. I can, but it's up. You guys have to agree. Everybody has to agree to it. So,
Please, guys, my email is there. Somebody should add me to the group.
huh?
I was talking to the class. Someone should add me to their group.
Oh, for the case study.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, send out an email to the crew, to the class, and then see what's up.
Hey,
Oh, okay. Or
what's
maybe
going on?
Nothing much. How are you?
you guys. So maybe you guys talking. You guys.
We'll talk later. We'll talk later, okay?
All right. Thank you.
So
Thanks.
so put it out to the class.
Because after the eve, we can't get the transportation from because it is.
Ah. Okay.
So
I,
if
I can do it. I can do
Because
I can do as
it's
early as you want. I can do as early as anybody can want.
7.
But yeah, it's the same thing. It doesn't the time doesn't matter. To me, I can do it. The class has to agree because everybody has different schedules. Some people are working, some people, ride. So you have to get consensus from everybody in the class. If everybody in the class agrees and they tell me what time you want to get here, it doesn't matter. I'm free all day Tuesday. So if you want to do it 9 o'clock in the morning, I can do 9 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't think anybody. If you want to do it 5 or 4:30 or 4 or 3, 2, that's good with me too. So, but everybody has to agree to the time. But I understand the constraint as far as the train and all that other stuff in the transportation.
For me, I have an issue for coming down. I have to go with my kids.
Yes. What about it?
In school. She closes at 5. So before I come,
Mhm.
if it's online, yeah.
It's on the portal.
I have to join.
Yeah.
I have another class tomorrow.
No, you can't because you're hybrid, right? Are you hybrid or online? Check your status. If you're an online student, you can go on the Zoom link and be with Kate and Pang and just. But if you're hybrid, you have to be in class. You have to physically be in class, right? For the count for attendance, and it's important for you guys that have your visas and that kind of thing. All right. Here you can see. Yeah.
You see in a module the participant. Check in a participant. You see the hybrid. So
Yeah, you see your hybrid online. Yeah.
Come in a class.
Hmm.
Then you see the online.
Yeah. So send out an email to the class and ask them, hey, can we do the class at 4:30?
He's not agreed with that because he has some issues. So
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah. Or you could do 5.
5 would be still.
5 is good.
Still, yeah, but I might be late to class.
Yeah.
I might
So
come
if you late the
No,
class,
it's fine.
so
No,
that's
it's fine. No, that's fine.
It's okay.
I'm
It's
concerned
okay.
about all the
No,
Yeah.
if they all agree, it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
If you're late to class, it's okay. Being late to class is not a big deal. Yeah. So you guys figure it out. Send me an email after if you get the whole class to say yes 5 or 4:30, whatever time. I'm good with that. I'll be here at 4:30. We can start early. But you have to get the online people. Actually, you don't have to, but because online people,
It's okay.
they come on when they want, right? They can come on.
It matter.
Huh?
For me,
A voice matters.
That's right. Okay, your voice matters. We know. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay.
So 5 is good for you.
Yeah. So check.
You're good?
Yeah,
5?
check.
5 o'clock is good.
Yeah, check with all the online folks. Check with them too, because there's more than just these two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So check with everybody. The best thing for you to do is send an email out to the whole class and say, hey, class, I want to propose to move the class earlier. Does anybody have any objections to that? And then
992.
what's that? Hey? Did you say something, Hank? Yeah, so send an email, find out what everybody wants. If it's 5 o'clock, then send me an email. Hey, Dr. Case, everybody said it's good to go. Just the time we want to meet. 4:35, whatever time it is. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, Doc.
All right. I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, guys.
All right, Zoom. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Bye.